I'm trying. I'm trying.
Saturday evening. It is an awesome evening in the city of Brownsville. Well, it's awesome because it's been raining in parts of Brownsville, and I know that a lot of individuals out there haven't gotten the full bulk or the full brunt force of the rain out there. I know that I got hit a little bit, but one thing that I did get hit with a lot, damn mosquitoes. Damn mosquitoes. I mean, they are everywhere. There. Good evening, there. Good evening, Saucillo family. Yeah, I mean, mosquitoes are horrible, and I do thank the city of Brownsville for responding to our inquiries. They did send me a list in regards to the schedule for fumigating, and I did post it on my page. They're going to be going out there full force on Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, guys, I don't think it's enough. Think we need more, but right now you take what you can, and then you continue to ask for more and more and more and more. What a great evening, minus the mosquitoes the size of bats. It's true, man. They're horrible. Good evening, Kathy. God bless. They're horrible to the sense that literally, I mean, I just walked to my car and I killed like 6 of them. Inside my car, there was like 1,000 of them. And I don't even know how the heck they get inside my damn car. I mean, I can't fit me on the car. You look amazing. Thank you, Teresa Saavedra. Oh, Joe, not me. Hello, Kitty. How's it going? Buenas noches. Buenas noches, Eduardo. Bendiciones. Dora, good evening. Good to see you. Buenas nachos, Peppermint Patty. Love you. Good evening, everyone. Ready for another great show. Preach. When is school starting? August 25th. And I just wait for more people to come in. Hey, man. Hey, good evening. God bless you, Pop. Good evening, Erasmo and guest. Thank you, Dana. And our guest is Joe Valdez. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Continued prayer for Mr. Valdez. Amen. And last time we saw Joe, he was a little worse than he is right now. I mean, not the face. You can't, you need plastic surgery. You need to take care of that one.
Yeah.
Good evening. I said, where have you been, bro? Good evening. Hopefully you won't get stuck in the rain going home. Amen. Let me tell you, I'm not hopeful. Está una tormenta en la feria. Está llevando de feria. Ground White forecast this mosquito plague. John White? Yes, he did. Bendigo John White. Hey, Jason, how's it going, my man? Mosquitoes the size of bird of Texas. I think we should change it. The mosquitoes are enormous in Texas. The breeding is just way too much. And you know what? It's kind of weird, Joe. Marco! Buenas noches. It's kind of weird, Joe, but it's one of the things that I made mention of. I said, you know what, guys? We're going to get hit by mosquitoes. And sure enough, you got any mosquitoes any there where y'all are at? Joe?
Was that for me?
Yeah. Any mosquitoes over there?
I live out in the rancho, man. I got to tell you, if you stand out there long enough, the mosquitoes will pick you up and carry you away. But I'm gonna tell you, Erasmo, after being almost a month in the hospital, those mosquitoes were, I'll take the mosquitoes.
You'll take the mosquitoes instead of being in the hospital?
Absolutely. I'll take the mosquitoes every day and twice on Sunday.
Good job. Nena, aquí los tengo en la oficina. Puedes pasar. Voy a estar aquí hasta las 10 y perecita. Pero si no, let me know. And tomorrow I'll be dropping off the last signs that I have. I have very few, and any stickers that y'all may want. So let me know. And I'll also drop off cookies tomorrow. Cookies! Good evening, Erasmo. Praying for your full recovery, Mr. Valdez. Thank you, Jennifer. Prayers for Joe. Your story is a miracle and inspiring. And, we're going to hear the update. Thunder, lightning, el cucuy. Amen, brother. It's not a good thing. Incredible recovery. So glad to see Coach Joe doing well. He is doing well. Another person I knew passed away today. Rona. And bro, let me tell you, bro, it is not a good thing. Has BISD estimated how much enrollment will be affected by students who don't have passport or resident alien card not crossing? No. I suspect that we're probably going to lose 3,000 students. Someone said probably closer to 4,000 students. Joe, do you have any idea, any guesstimations to how many students we're probably going to lose?
It's really hard to say it, Adam, but I got to tell you, I received a lot of texts and phone calls from family, friends, and people in general. And I got to tell you that the majority of the people are saying they're not sending their kids to school. I mean, it's gonna be a big impact.
It is going to be a big impact, and I think, part of the problem, Joe, is like a lot of the individuals are kind of like fastidiados, because, and God bless the district. What I mean by fastidiados is that they're expecting something from the district. They're expecting updates. They're expecting to be informed, and they're not. So when that happens, the breach of trust, it starts getting wider and wider and wider, to the point where there's very, very little trust these days in regards to anything that is being said by the superintendent and anything that's being said by the school board. You see, when you lose someone's trust, what else is left, man? Nothing. When you lose someone's trust, everything's gone. And one thing that a lot of people don't get this, and I think the school board doesn't get this. Saying half truths, Joe, or excluding information from individuals is not the truth, bro. It's not the truth. And in this day and age, people expect at the moment, information. And when they don't get information, they'll seek it somewhere else. It's like that movie, The President. I can't remember the name of the movie, but this guy, Kirk Douglas? No, I can't remember the guy's name, but he plays the president, and it's the Fox from Back in the Future. Fox, the kid, Fox. Michael J. Fox. He tells him, but sir, they're listening to that other guy, and the guy goes, in the void of leadership, they don't drink the sand because something, they drink it because they don't know the difference. And see, that's part of the problem. What I'm trying to say, I don't know that somebody please look up the quote. What I'm trying to say is that when there is a lack of information, trust is fading away. And and a lot of people have blessed us here with providing information. And when the information that we've been providing, because we abstract the information from the doctors, from the nurses, from the hospitals, when we get this information and we share it, and people start to realize that what we're saying is the truth, then they tend to come here more instead of going over there. And one of the things that the district has been saying regularly, Joe, I don't know if you've seen the meetings, but they've been out saying, well, come to us for the information. Come to us for the information, because they don't want people coming to me for the information. But as much as they claim that they're transparent, they're not. And one of the things that yes, the movie is The American Presidents. Thank you, Michael. One of the issues is, again, yes, The American President. If someone could find me that quote, it's an awesome quote in regards to the drinking the sand. And yeah, no one's going to send their kids. Guys, part of the problem, Frankie has retired. Frankie has left the building. Good evening, Erasmo. You get a new Frankie. We've got Joe is our new Frankie. So it's good. But guys, Joe, information is important, and trust is important. And complete truth is important. If you have nothing to hide, then be upfront about stuff. Transparency is essential. I'm running on transparent stewardship this time around. Transparent stewardship. And before we go into the things, I will say this much, guys. Last time around, I ran on let's keep moving forward, and I ran on let's keep moving forward because we are an A district. And I felt what the teachers were doing for the district. I felt it, and they were on the right path. That's why I focused on the teachers. This time around, the need is transparent stewardship. That's what we need. But let's talk about the Rona, and then we'll go into BISD. I just wanted to make mention of that. one of the things that did come out just right now, and Joe and I were talking about it, is we did get the numbers for the city of Brownsville. And guys, it's amazing. For the city of Brownsville, 664 positives for the city of Brownsville. Oh, here's the quote. People want leadership, Mr. President, and in the absence of genuine leadership, they'll listen to anyone who steps up to the microphone. They want leadership. They're so thirsty for it, they'll crawl through the desert towards a barrage. And when they discover there's no water, they'll drink the sand. That was Michael J. Fox's response. The president's response, if someone throws it out there, is pretty cool too.
You were pretty close.
I
You
know.
were pretty close.
I was good at paraphrasing. I wish I could retire, but have 3 years to go. My family needs my income. I'm grateful for my job. I love teaching. Yes, and we appreciate everything that our teachers do out there. Let's go into the numbers before we get to the second part of the quote. We are an A district because of the kids and the hardworking teachers and the staff. Yes, Letty, exactly my point. Exactly my point. And that is why back then when I ran 2 years ago, I said, let's keep moving forward. Because the direction that the school, I mean, the programs, the heart of the teachers, just amazing, man. They've decimated. They stomped on my teachers. They've stomped on my teachers. Okay, sorry. We'll go back into BISD. I promise. I agree 100%. Yes. Guys, 664 positives for the city of Brownsville. 664 positives for the city of Brownsville. Out of these 664, 122 of them, 122 are students, children.
Wow.
122. 108 are between the ages of 20 and 29. Yes, our amazing school administrators. Yeah, and I apologize. And guys, again, please don't misconstrue my words. When I say my teachers, and I know it's kind of hard, I'm referring to all our personnel at schools. You know, it's just easier to pinpoint teachers. When I say doctors, I'm referring to all our personnel out there at the hospitals, at our nursing homes. And I'm sorry, it's just very hard to name everyone because then you leave people out. But yes, our administrators are amazing. In the city of Brownsville, we're reporting 9 deaths, Joe. 9 deaths. What do the numbers tell you, Joe?
I mean, they tell me just what we had talked about last time, is that we're on an up. We're not at any peak. We haven't plateaued. We're on our way up, and it's what was projected. The numbers are horrible, and it's only going to keep getting worse if we don't do something about it. Our city leadership and county needs to step up. And, you know, sometimes being in law enforcement, sometimes we have to save people from themselves, you know, and I think that's what right now we need to get a little bit stricter and do something for the community.
Saludos a Gaby Alfaro. I think that's not a bad thing. Saludos, Patricia. Gracias. Guys, it's good, right? Well, let me tell you, Joe. You know, I'm concerned about the numbers a little bit, but what concerns me more than anything else are the number of deaths, because we're still not reporting the exact number of deaths that we have out there.
Yeah,
there's no way that's accurate.
There's no way that.
No. Sorry. Yesterday we reported 1 death in Brownsville.
Yeah.
The day before that, on Thursday, 0 deaths in Brownsville. Today, because of the nursing homes, 5 of those are nursing homes, and 4 people have passed away in the city of Brownsville, besides those 5 from the nursing home.
Yeah.
Joe, it's not real.
Yesterday, I received notification that 2 of my friends and former coworkers had passed away from COVID. There's no way. I mean, I received notification that 2 people. So there's absolutely no way that 1 person died.
Yeah, they're not accurate at all. And again, my concern, guys, look, and this is my concern, Joe. something that Juan Picasso is going to mention. Counselors go to work on Monday in their 10 by 10 square foot room. Part of the problem, Joe, is that uh, the decisions that are being made by our leadership are being based on the county numbers,
Right.
and the county
Incorrect.
numbers are incorrect. Incorrect. And we've had doctors on here, Joe. We've had individuals who have actually been in emergency ICU, fighting this, and they've all told us the same thing. There's just no way that the numbers are accurate. There's no way. It's impossible.
I agree. I lived it. I saw it.
Did I just say something wrong again? Good evening, Evelinda. Guys, it really is a very, very serious matter, guys. The decisions that are being made by these local, our local leadership in regards to the district are being based on county numbers. The numbers are incorrect. The morgue person who took my dad from his home in Brownsville said he picked up 150 bodies in a week. And Marie Rose, that was just one nursing home. One nursing home.
Erasmo, I have a relative that works at a call center that coordinates the arrangements between the hospital and the funeral home. And they told me that in a 3-day period, they had made 60 to 70 arrangements, and that the funeral homes were full. They didn't have a capacity to keep going. And that's in a 3 to 4 day period. Those numbers are absolutely incorrect.
Well,
it goes back to the same thing, Erasmo. The people that are making the decisions for a large group are getting the same information we're having, so they got wrong information to base their decisions. And it goes to business owners also. If business owners knew the reality, maybe they'd make different decisions about how they treated their business when they open it to the public. So it affects the entire community by us getting misleading and wrong numbers.
Well, again, something that Juan may mention. The problem, Joe, is that my people are being asked to come back into buildings. They're being asked to come back into buildings, and I have an issue with that. A 10 by 10 square foot
Yeah.
office.
My sister's a counselor, and she's very concerned about having to go back to work on Monday. She's scared. She fosters kids, and she's got about 6, 7 kids, that she's fostering at different age groups, and she's very concerned.
I would be. Thank you for being willing to talk at the last BIC meeting. In a way, I'm glad you weren't able to, because I would have hated to see the board disrespect you. Well, I think Joe might be speaking this coming Tuesday. We'll see. But again, one of the things that we hope to do is, the more that these individuals want to quiet the voice of our community, we will give them a platform. We will give them a voice. People will hear. And Shepard's response to Michael J. Fox, Lewis, we've had presidents who were beloved, who couldn't find a coherent sentence with 2 hands and a flashlight. But people don't drink the sand because they're thirsty. They drink the sand because they don't know the difference. Well, let me tell you, one of the things that we've tried to do is to produce the facts. We've had amazing individuals here like Dr. Saavedra, who tells us the facts. People are dying in their homes, also from non-COVID causes, but rather chronic health conditions that they don't want to die alone from. There's countless deaths. And part of the problem is we ultimately don't know at this point how many deaths are going to be, out there attributed to COVID-19 or not in some cases. I went to take the healthcare workers that are helping out some patients in the hotel. I spoke to some of the nurses, and they said they are trying very hard to keep people alive. I saw how tired they are. People, the Rona, it hasn't left. Take care. It hasn't. And thank you, Letty, for doing that. I appreciate that. And the community appreciates that. Coach, so glad you're feeling well, from Claudia. A loud voice. Yes. And we'll continue to be a loud voice for our community. We'll continue to produce the facts. Good evening, Erasmo. Where's Frankie? I made some of the cheese crisps that you made last night. It was delicious. Awesome. Frankie has left the building. Mr. Valdez, you're a true Brownsville hero. Thank you. One of the things that going back into sending individuals onto campus, Joe, is that we received some pictures from special services. Now, special services are the individuals that take care of our special needs children out there. And I think I showed you the picture. They had shower curtains, with a little red string going through them. Do you think those are safe?
Well, let me tell you something, is that I've learned a lot through the experience that I went through. And, one of the things that I notice is, you go to Home Depot, Walmart, and the employees have the little plastic screen to shield them. But one of the things that I learned being in the hospital, and, I spent close to a month in two different hospitals, is that might keep you safe from the immediate exposure, but it's in the ventilation system. And no matter what it is that you have, whether it's a shower curtain or a piece of plastic, the fact that you are breathing it, talking it, coughing it, it's going to get into the ventilation system and spread, which is the problem happening at the hospitals right now, because most of the rooms do not have that reverse pressure room that is required to maintain the exposure to that room. And I know that because I used a CPAP machine and they wouldn't let me wear it because they said that everything that I would breathe would be into the ventilation system and spread it more than it already was. So I think the lack of knowledge might make someone believe that whether it's a shower curtain or that plexiglass that'll keep you safe, from what I've learned, it's not going to work unless you have that type of reverse pressure room, or whether you invest into the air conditioning system with ultra lighting that kills the virus before it actually enters the room. But that's going to require some investment into the AC units to make the building safe, because no matter what, once you're in the building, you're going to start spreading it regardless of what you put to try to shield you from it.
In regards to the next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, Dr. Saavedra. Nothing that really helps our teachers out is on that agenda. Nothing. It is more como business as usual, unfortunately. So it's very, very depressing. Ontan las carnitas asadas preach. Well, let me tell you, Joe, it is very scary, Jessica. One of the things that I've been preaching for weeks now is that I have issues, I have concerns in regards to the buildings. The way that I have seen it progress here in the city of Brownsville is it's usually enclosed areas. That's what when we were first reporting out there, the great numbers that we were getting, I was very surprised that at Carrizales jail they were saying that there were no positives out there. I was just very, very surprised. And all of a sudden, we started to see individuals from Cameron County, the district clerk's office, county clerk's office, start to test positive. And I said, it's the buildings. It's the buildings. And then we started to see a lot of the individuals, the 30 individuals or less that were going on to our campuses, and they started to test positive. Our custodians, our food nutrition service people, some of our teachers that went on there, they started testing positive. Then we learned that after the election, wait, there's like 400 positives at Carrizales jail. Conveniently after the election. And again, it's the buildings. So I've been saying it for weeks now, maybe months now. There's something about the buildings. We are just recycling the same air, going back and forth. It's going through our vent system. It's just going back and forth. It's like sending them into a death trap, into Auschwitz, a gas chamber. if we don't have the science to prove otherwise, should we really risk our personnel and going back onto campus, Joe?
You know, like I said, I spent almost a month in hospitals, and last night I got home, and you know, praise God, I give all glory to God for letting me be here, and I thank you for inviting me and being able to speak to the people. But I got to tell you that I'm playing catch up, Erasmo. Right now, I'm behind on emails, messages, because for a month I haven't communicated with. I'm trying to catch up on what's happening with the school district. I think I'm getting, I'm not even halfway there. So it's a little difficult to say. In my mind, I couldn't imagine us going back, only based on the current situation. I'm learning now that we're going to do distance learning 4 weeks, and then possibly another 4 weeks. And then there's some news that TEA is making some changes based on Attorney General. So I'm a little confused as to what's happening. But to be honest with you, I'm concerned. I myself, I'm concerned because I have a compromised immune system right now. I need 100% of my immune system to continue to recover. I'm getting more mobility on my hands, on my arm, on my arms, on my leg, but I still can't feel my feet, my hands, my face. So to be quite honest with you, I am scared to go back to the campus. I would like to see the district make a decision that we do the first semester, distance learning, and hopefully that's enough time to get a cure, some kind of a vaccine. It buys us some time with what we learned after spring break. We already learned, some of the pros and cons about distance learning that we can now apply this semester. So I'm hoping, again, I haven't been able to see the district meetings, the board. I have not. I'm now trying to catch up. But I'm hoping that with the right information, which is the reason why I would welcome the opportunity to go speak at the meeting, and that's only to give them information about what's really happening, because hopefully with real information, they can consider what's actually happening and make a decision that is in the best interest of the employees and the students. I mean, I just can't see why our school board and superintendent wouldn't do something that is in our best interest.
Well, it blows everyone's mind. Lorenzo, I'm praying that you're doing okay, man. Give me an update. Are you back home? My prayers are for you. But unfortunately, Lorenzo's right. It is all about politics and money, unfortunately. Before I give my comment, they can't make the students go back if the parents refuse to send them. The teachers need to prepare for being educated on how to navigate teaching online to their classes, at least for this semester, since the first vaccine from Moderna won't be out until December. Their classrooms will be empty. Does BISD have a contingency plan? Unfortunately, they do not. And one of the things that they have been threatened with is they've been threatened with taking away their funding. Not funding out there. Nancy, you're very right. Erasmo está bien guapo. The funding, but you know what? One of the things that came out, Joe, I don't know if you saw it on social media. One of the things that came out was a superintendent from San Antonio area, Northeast Independent School District, and they went out there, and he told the governor and Mike Morath, he goes, goodness, my job is to protect my students and my staff. Their health and their well-being will always come first. That's what he said. It will always come first. If you want to take away our funding, he said, I'll see you in court.
Good for him.
That is leadership, Joe. That is leadership. That is someone that cares enough to say, hell no, we won't go, no matter what. It's something that a lot of individuals wish we had here. And unfortunately, we don't. Good evening, Time Traveler. Erasmo, my friend in the HR department in the Glass Palace is telling me there are 23 employees there every day. They are not rotating shifts, and they are worried about being infected. Can something be done? Let me tell you, Kat, there's more than 23 employees out there. I mean, all you have to do is drive by and look at all the vehicles there. We got a full parking lot every day. And think of the mentality of the superintendent who, basically said, I'm essential. I come into work every day. So everyone has to come into work every day. Yeah. When he has 1/8 of the building to himself and his secretary, I mean, we put up the map. AOBE put up the map. Yeah, it's easy, to social distance when there's only 2 people, on half the floor. But when you got more than 16 individuals in a 20 by 30 foot little piece of office, you're in trouble. They're in trouble. And unfortunately for us, they just do not seem to care. They do not seem to care. And my prayers go out for everyone. Until it happens to them, then they realize this is no joke. 100%, Lorenzo. And that's something that Joe's experiencing. He knows it's not a joke. His family knows. They know it's not a hoax. I'm doing much better. Thank you. My prayers continue to go out to you, Lorenzo. Really. Get strong, man. I've been concerned. One of the things in regards to going back, we need to realize that a big old portion of what was stated out there, Joe, was, safety. And then they produced a picture of the different masks that they're sending out to our staff out there. The masks aren't to protect them again in regards to anything viral going around. They're for the dust. And those don't do much for individuals out there. They don't help. Joe, tell us about the last time you were here. What has changed since last time?
But real quick, let me make a comment, or let me
Go.
real quick on what you said, Erasmo. The mask. I'm not quite sure the mask that they're providing, but once again, that I think that comes down on misinformation, because I remember clearly before I got sick that the city or the county also said, when the face coverings were mandatory, they never specified. They just said face covering, cloth. It didn't matter as long as you had your face covered. And again, that's wrong information, because the truth of the matter is that the virus apparently can go through the cloth. And if, again, as a community, we don't have proper information, then how do we make the right decision on what mask we wear? And I think that it's very important from our city leadership and our county leadership to put that information out there. I've heard Dr. Eder Hernandez and a couple of the doctors mention how important it is to wear the proper mask, and how not effective the cloth ones are. But I'm telling you, I clearly remember the mandate from the city saying face covering. So people are wearing a bandana, they're wearing the fishing mask, because that's a face covering. So if we don't have the proper information, then how do we make the right decision to be safe? And how do we protect ourselves and the rest of the community if we're not told what works and what doesn't? And again, thank you to the doctors that you bring on the show, because they give us the correct information that everyone should have. And I'm sorry, what was the question that you asked me?
Well, Mike, going back into yours, my concern, Joe, is that look, and I understand a lot of individuals, they want to wear the more easier to wear mask if they're going to be out there, do exercise, if they're going to go walking. That's cool, man. But if you're going to be in rooms where you're going to encounter a lot of people, then the masks or the coverings that you're going to use, they should be something that's substantial. And also, if you're going to be in constant contact with individuals, let's say a teacher, a teacher is with 150 students a day for 6 hours, 5 days out of the week, then these little flimsy masks are not going to do, bro. Yeah. They're not going to suffice. That is what Dr. Hernandez was saying the other night. They're going to need an N95. They're going to need something that has some filters, something that's a little bit stronger. Because again, my friends out there, These individuals are going to come into contact with our students for hours, And then when some individuals receive the mask, they find out that they're for dust. They're these flimsy little masks that cost $1.75 downtown, guys. It's not going to protect anyone. It's not going to protect our students, and it's not going to protect our teachers and our counselors, menos our special services people, our special needs individuals. And again, Joe, one of the things that a lot of people need to realize is that we are a national hotspot right now. And I'm going to share some information that I haven't shared with anyone yet, because I just learned of it today. We're in trouble with the state of Texas. We're in trouble with the state of Texas, and I'll tell you why. We're in trouble with the state of Texas because of the way the county has been collecting the numbers. They have made a mess out of it. A mess. And again, we've been saying it for weeks now. They've made a mess of it to whereas the state has come down and has basically said, what the hell have y'all been doing? But you know why that happens, Joe? I'll tell you why that happens. That happens, folks, when you have the least qualified individuals in key positions. And the reason that we have the least qualified individuals in key positions is because these individuals continue to hire their compadres or pay off some stupid political favor. Stupid political favor. That is why our numbers are screwed. But look and I'm going to take some time, Joe. Look, guys, you have to look at the big picture, guys. You have to look at the big picture. Because someone says, well, it always happens. Hombre, déjalos. Nothing's going to change. And they continue to hire the least experienced individuals to these key positions. El compadrismo. So what happens is, let me use something that's just an analogy. You got all these individuals that shouldn't be in these positions, making decisions for everyone, Then let's say a virus hits, a worldwide virus hits. And you need these individuals to be up to date in regards to information, make proper decisions, number counting, number gathering, producing facts, producing numbers. And let's just say that instead of reporting 15 to 20 deaths a day for the damn city of Brownsville, they're only reporting 1 or 0. Well, guess what? That makes the BISD board make the stupid decisions that they've been making. And they continue not to be transparent. And this is all just supposing. So in the end, folks, it screws over the community as a whole. And guess what? It's not an analogy. It's what actually happened. So we have individuals in these key positions because of el compadrismo. It all goes back to the same. It's just a vicious cycle, And now you are paying for it. I am paying for it. Joe just paid for it by spending a month in the hospital. Our community is being damned. And we have become a hot spot, an epicenter, an explosion because of the compadrismo, because of the lack of information, because of them people trying to do what they've always done for years, folks, and shove crap under the rug. It's got to end. It has to end. We need the truth. We need the facts. We need real numbers. And we need to hire the right individuals, the most qualified individuals in the top high-paying positions, not only at the district, at the city, at the county as well. When we don't, we're all screwed because they're all lies, lies, and lies. That's all that they're doing. They're producing lies, lies, lies. The community needs to be more concerned about what's happening in the valley. We need answers. We need the truth. People, we need to know what the heck is going on in the hospitals. We do. What is the nurse to the patient ratio? It's crazy. How many ventilators does each of the hospitals have? Not enough. Is there enough oxygen and whatever else for the patients supposedly COVID-19? No. And as Joe just commented, all hospital patients are breathing the same air in the hospitals. The hospitals need to have rooms set up properly. We don't. And that's the problem. Man, Joe, glad to see you, my friend. You'll get better. God bless. Saludos, Mr. Castro. Oh, and can you believe President Donald Trump said to go back to school because students are immune to the virus? They are not. Our numbers show that they're not. Hello, Erasmo. You have my vote. Thank you, Cindy. I'll need your vote, your family's vote, and everybody else's out there vote. Brandon, animo. Hey, Brandon, good to see you, Papa. Hello, Erasmo. What can we do, the parent and community, to remove this voodoo superintendent for BSD? Daniel, easy. November elections. And demand that every single individual out there be transparent enough to share with you what their ideas, what their thoughts are in regards to the superintendent's job. Because they seem to think, the superintendent seems to think that he's done a great, great job through all of this. He has not. He has not. Well, in my opinion, with what I've seen in the past few weeks and people dropping like flies, I still see people driving around without their mask on and still having to get-togethers and no regard for anyone else who have underlying conditions. This will not clear up anything soon if people don't listen. Let me tell you something, Joe. I know that there are teachers out there. I know for a fact that there are tons of teachers out there who have already tested positive. Tons of teachers have tested positive. I'm going to say that there's tons of students that have tested positive, that are positive. Can you imagine sending these individuals back onto campus? Now, parents, it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot because after 4 weeks, Joe, they're going to want to bring students back on campus. I guarantee you, after 4 weeks. As parents, it's a crapshoot. Do you really want to risk sending your child into a classroom where you truly cannot trust that a teacher, someone at the school, or some other student is not carrying the virus? Joe, would you trust that?
I'd be very concerned. And to be quite honest with you, I'm starting to make preparations. If I have to go back to campus, I'm going back in a full bodysuit where I'm not going back. I mean, it is what it is. Unless there's a scientifically proven cure or something that says that it's safe to go back. It's well, just a. What's that?
I'm sorry. Go.
No, I'm just saying it's just one of those. It's a hard decision, but ultimately you have to look at what's best for the community. I mean, our public health is definitely important, and I'd like to touch on something that you were talking about, because one of the things that I learned from my family being in Texas City, by the way, that's where I was. It was very difficult to find somewhere that I could go for the rehabilitation for the Guillain-Barré syndrome that I needed to have immediately, and the places available wouldn't take a COVID positive patient, and miraculously we found this place in Texas City by Houston, and they had an entire floor devoted for that, and they had room. And one of the things that I learned was that they had a peak, and their city government made a big deal showing people the reality of the hospitals being overrun, the true numbers, and what it made for that city is that they became aware and everybody followed instructions. And one of the things my family would tell me that was out there is that the city looked very peaceful. There was hardly anybody on the street during the day, during the night. There was hardly any people at Walmart. And if they were, everybody was wearing masks. There wasn't little kids around. And a lot of that is because they were aware. They were aware of the reality of what this is. The hospitals had open spaces. They were not overrun. They had the proper staffing. But it all starts with getting proper information disseminated out to everybody, so that the powers that we make the right decisions for the mass.
It's important, man. It's needed.
It is.
And look, man, if we don't have all the facts, if we don't have all adequate numbers, adequate information, goodness gracious, how can we trust anything that these individuals are saying? And Juan Picasso's comment, I know several that are considering quitting if face-to-face instruction starts. Let me tell you, Juan, all you have to do is look at this next meeting's agenda. This next meeting's agenda. There are 15 people, 12 resignations, and 3 retirements. 15 people cannot take it anymore. And I don't know the case of everyone on there, but I can almost guarantee you that they don't want to put their family's life in danger. Now, you have to understand one thing. When these individuals, when they resign within those 40 days, Joe, a lot of them are in trouble of losing their certification for a year.
Yeah.
But a lot of individuals would rather lose their certification for a year than lose their life or lose their family life.
Yeah.
What ticks me off is that this superintendent and this corrupt board has put my people in this predicament. All because of being cabezones. Puro compadrismo. They just don't care. Exactly. Least qualified personnel that don't know what they're doing. They don't at all. Hey, Adi, good evening. Let's catch up with the comments and then we'll go into the next one. Give that man a beer. Palbote concilia, I can say it. Talking crap about my family. Otra vez. Mendiga rata inmunda. I think we need to make contact with higher ups like Abbott. That old fart está terco que regresemos a la escuela. Oh, Rosa, you see that? Let me explain something, guys. You can't lose focus, guys. Because a lot of the individuals here in Brownsville, de repente were sharing these, oh, Abbott, Trump. It's the squirrel effect, folks. It's the squirrel effect. Let me tell you, you're going to have very little influence on Greg Abbott, very, very little influence on President Trump, very little influence, if at all. Guys, you need to stay focused on the local leadership, on the BISD board, corrupt board. Why? Because if they don't listen to you, you have the option of voting them out. You have the option of voting them out. And that is going to happen very, very soon. So don't let them distract you by saying, oh, it's Abbott, it's Mike Morath, it's those guys up in Austin. Don't let them distract you, folks. And as much as Abbott may be to blame, and Mike Morath and President Trump, that's fine. There's very little we can do about them. Very little. Look, guys, we live in a Democratic little section of the state of Texas. You think a Republican governor gives a rat's behind about Cameron County, folks? Come on. Come on, it votes Democrat. Always has. Always will. So, guys, focus on the individuals where you have the power to transform a complete board. A complete board. You have the power to change it all. It starts with your local elections. And this November the 3rd, you have the power to show this BISD board your disapproval. You have that power. Stay focused. Stay focused. Saludos, prayers, Mr. Valdez from Orfa. Hey, Orfa, how's it going? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Got it. Daniel, appreciate you, bro. November, people vote. It's in November. Okay, so we know that the current school board and administration have not done their job. Can you provide us with a plan of action What is your plan? Easy, Agripino. What you need to do is go with all your family members and make lists of every single individual that is registered to vote. Every single one. This is what you can do. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. But let's start off desde abajito. Let's start off with you. Because if you don't become a part of the electoral process, then we can't be complaining in 5 months from now if we're experiencing the same crap. Because the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same things over and over and over again and expect a different result. So let's start off with you. You get your family together and say, give me 10, 20 names of individuals that you will guarantee will come out and vote. And you make sure that those individuals go out and vote or request a mail-in ballot for early voting in October. That's what you can do. That's what you can do. That way, you get rid of that old board. Now, you also have to do a little bit of research. You have to make sure that the candidates that are putting their name on the ballot are not tied to this corrupt board. There are already individuals on there that Sylvia Atkinson has already set apart to be on this board to continue to keep their vendors happy. That's what you need to do. Okay. Now let's go into what Erasmo Castro needs to do as soon as he gets elected in November. Erasmo Castro, with a new majority of individuals who are free thinkers, Erasmo Castro is going to submit a request for campaign finance reform. That same week, we're going to have a meeting in order to demand that the organizational chart for the entire district, and we're starting at the top, the organizational chart be thinned out and let all those individuals on there reapply for their positions. And we're going to submit a survey to find out if the community agrees, because this district loves surveys. So y'all love surveys? Let's throw out a survey. If this community agrees that the superintendent handled this COVID-19 in a way that brought progress, that brought safety to our people, that's what Erasmo is going to do. So I'm running on transparent stewardship, bringing the board to truly serve the people who put individuals into office, not the vendors, not special interests, the people. But it starts with you. With you. How important are people going out to vote, Joe?
Extremely important. You have to come out and vote. And listen, it's not just it's everything. Besides Mayor Mendez, who else from the city has done anything in the last few months about this? What did the county and the city do to prepare us after March when we knew this was coming? Has anybody seen anything from the city, from the county, besides Mayor Mendez, who's done a great job? What has his team done to help our community to avoid what this could have been avoided, Erasmo? Had proper planning been done back in March, we wouldn't have the deaths that we have here. So it's very important that you come out and vote and like Erasmo said, look at your candidates and make sure that it's someone that's going to represent you, the community, and what's in our best interest.
100%. Is the telemedicine or Zoom for medical students at no charge? Let me tell you, Dr. Garza, and she's going to slap me. Dr. Garza from Houston has offered free telemedicine for our community. So anyone that is needing telemedicine, we're here to help. Dr. Ed Hernandez is, doing telemedicine for our community as well. So there is that possibility. But Joe, you're right. It's not because he is a special needs and are the ones that can get so quickly the virus if they in the first day of school. That's for sure. Yeah. You're not saying them because of your child. You're exactly right. Let me tell you, Joe, this city is, again, thanks to Mayor Mendez again for being out there constantly, and going out there and very, very, very proactive as possible. I had a conversation with him this morning, Again, I approve of everything of the job that Mayor Mendez has made. But you're right. I have not heard from one single commissioner except for Commissioner Tetro, who came on the
Right.
show. She came on the show. I think she's come out twice already, if I'm not mistaken. And goodness gracious, it's not easy coming on here and answering questions live, folks. Answering questions live. And, we don't hide any of the questions, any of the questions that are out there. Even some of them that are directed at me to try and catch me on some crap or other. So, guys, it's not easy. But, Joe, you're right. Not one single city commissioner has come on here
Absolutely.
to say this is what we're doing for our people at all. At all. Did you see the spread that happened in Israel when they reopened their year-round school? Yeah, it was horrible. And look, Christina, let me tell you, the reason that we've been so on point in regards to everything that we've shared on these shows is because we've seen the trends. I started to see what was happening in China. I started to see what was happening in Korea. I started to see what was happening in Italy, and then in Spain, and then in New York City, and you could see the progression. It was going over there, coming over here. So it was easy to read them. So what's happening in Israel should be concerning not only to New York and Florida, should also be concerning to us. Because if it's happening over there, I guarantee you it's going to happen in Florida. And Florida is open to schools for face-to-face. And Texas is next. Texas is next. It's like history, Joe. History is there so you won't commit the same mistakes. That's what history is. And we talk about the monuments and all this stuff. Hey, the Civil War. Yeah, no, man. Let's focus on recent history. What happened 5 months ago? What happened 4 months ago? That's our history. Learn from that history, and let's make sure we don't continuously make the same mistakes over and over again. Christina, this is my issue with the district. They experimented with our custodians' lives. They experimented with our custodians' life, our food and nutrition people, staff. They experimented with them. They were used as guinea pigs, and they were sent onto campus with supposedly less than 30 individuals on the campus. And people started coming out positive. It's a failed experiment. Well, guess what? Now they're sending our counselors back on Monday. Didn't they learn anything from last time? Now, Joe, have the numbers gotten better?
Nope. And they're only going to keep getting worse.
Have the deaths decreased?
Mhm. I don't think so.
Guys, at the point where we're the highest that we've seen so far, at the point that we're at the highest, they're sending people back onto campus. Does that make sense to anyone, guys? Anyone? And someone contradict me if you feel that you have to contradict me. Joe, does that make sense, Joe?
No, it doesn't, Erasmo, which is why it's very concerning. I mean, I think right now we should be looking at other alternatives. I think distance learning for the first semester is the right thing to do.
It is very, 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 very concerning. Very, very, very concerning. And again, we need something different. Brownsville stores were packed today. I had to buy necessities, but decided too many people out there. Walmart had a line to go in. Geez, I came home and said, it's too many people. Put me in, coach. I have plenty to say. And tomorrow, Carlos, we're going to have the whole hour, just me and you, bro. Just you and me. I think Carlos has some words to share. It's good. They don't care if you retire or quit. They don't care. Joe Valdez, are you providing PPE for your security company?
Yes.
Good job.
The staff that we have out there, we provide them with the facial mask before we even started. We provided them with headgear where it was needed. We provided them with hand sanitizer where when most of my staff doesn't have contact because we do overnight security. So it's mostly like guarding buildings. So it's minimal to no interaction with the public, but we still did provide it.
Good job. And that again, it's a responsibility for everyone out there to provide proper PPE to their employees. Necessity. Good evening, Cheese. Good evening, Carlos. If you would, tomorrow it'll be just you and me, honey. It's not a date, so don't be thinking anything weird. I don't want Cindy to yell at me again. A shout out to Eduviges Chavez, who is an avid follower of the show now. Woo! Thank you, Eduviges. Thank you for being here, my man. We need kids and teachers to stay home, keep our kids and teachers safe. Yeah, everyone needs to stay home. Y el Frankie, ¿dónde está? Frankie has retired. Frankie has decided to spend his time to focus on the campaign, which is commendable. So, wish everybody well. Los puppets are running. Tell us who they are. Well, we have to wait till the 17th. On the 17th is when everything closes. And by then, we'll be good to go. You got my vote. Thank you, Sati. Appreciate you. We're going to need your vote. Good. Boot out the pathetic animal abuser, turtle riding superintendent, Rene Gutierrez. Worthless. You got my vote. Thank you, Ruben. I'll need your vote, your family's vote, your friend's vote, everyone's vote. Damian, Garcia. Oh, they're inviting people. Thank you, Andres. God bless you. City leaders no valen. Nowhere to be found. It's true, man.
Correct.
Steven! I miss you, bro. 100% agree with everything. We need a huge change. Thank you, Papa. Appreciate you. If I had children, I wouldn't send them. No, nobody would. BISD is going to be the cause for a new wave of coronavirus in Brownsville. Let me tell you, Steven, I agree. Joe?
I was just looking at the name. I think I know who that is right there.
Steven Steven is one of our graduating students this year. Steven is amazing, a good friend of mine. Steven Stuckey. I think I said that right. But Steven, you're on point. The problem is, guys, no one should be moving forward in regards to anything until we have contained it some. At the point where we're peaking, we're still going up. It's not easy. I mean, who wants to make that decision? Smiley! Buenas noches.
Earlier you asked me for a quick update. Can I give that before your hour is up?
Go.
What's that?
Yes, please.
A real quick update, guys.
Take your time.
Okay. So I got home last night from Texas City. I spent pretty much about a month in the hospital and in rehab. And I'm happy to report that my pneumonia is gone. I'm negative. I'm no longer COVID positive. And the only thing that I have right now is a long road of recovery for the Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is still very dangerous. But every day I get stronger. Every day I'm able to move my body a little bit more. I'm starting to feel my face a little bit more, so I'm talking a little bit better. I'm not quite walking yet, but I'm starting to take a few steps. So every day is getting better. And I'd like to give glory to God, number one. And number two, thank all of you all for your continuous prayers and good vibes. And I'd like to take this time to thank personally my good friend and neighbor, Manuel Trevino, Chief Manuel Trevino, who took it upon himself to help me here at the ranch in my absence. And him and his wife are awesome. They had a reef and made a raffle. And it's incredible because it's like the timing's perfect. My therapy is just now starting, but the bills are already starting to come in. And let me tell you, Erasmo, those bills aren't pretty. But I'm doing great, guys. I appreciate all the good vibes. Prayers are welcome. Please continue to keep me in your prayers. I have a long road ahead, but I'm getting stronger every day. Thank you.
Gracias a Dios. And Joe, what is your regimen from here on out? You are a teacher. Are you getting ready for distance learning August 25th? What do you see in the next couple of days for yourself?
So like I said, I'm playing catch up. So right now that's what I'm doing. I'm making contact. I'm communicating with my administrator. I'm kind of seeing where I'm at. I have a training next Thursday, which is to learn about some of the systems we'll be using. But so what I'm going to do starting tomorrow is going to start putting together my classes, and I'm going to prepare for distance learning. So that's what I'm going to do. And tomorrow, in between therapy and everything that I have to do, I'm going to take some time to start devoting some time to putting my classes together and get ready for distance learning.
Kids don't understand about wearing. Thank you, Joe. Kids don't understand about wearing a mask and don't understand about kissing their boyfriend and girlfriend. It's a bad thing on school, because I know Brownsville hospitals do release their patients with COVID-19 home to pass away. Can you imagine how many of those are parents or family members of those students that they want to go back to school? You're on point.
Yeah.
You're very, very right. And I'll tell you guys, if you don't have insurance, don't get coronavirus. If you don't have insurance,
that I know that 20%, it's still that copay, and 20% is still a kicker.
Well, yeah, it is. Even people that have insurance with that 20%, but I'm not even talking about the financials. Guys, anyone that wants to think that they're going to keep individuals in a hospital for long periods of time without insurance, I don't see it happening. That's what Tara was mentioning. You know, a lot of times, no insurance means you go home. And unfortunately, guys, we're at that point, guys. And listen to what I'm saying. I mean, it's the harsh truth. Listen to what I'm saying. We were told that we should not get to the point where the hospitals and the doctors were going to basically decide who is going to live and who is going to die, you know, by just who they were going to start accepting into the hospitals. It was happening all over the world.
And it's kind of already happening. Erasmo. I mean, I literally got sent home 3 times before I stayed, you know, and I had my condition 3 days in a row, and I was fortunate enough that they kept me on that 4th time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And I saw it in the room that I was in, Erasmo. They had 2 people coding, and they had to make a decision. And unfortunately, at the time, that's what they're doing. They're at that point right now where they're having to decide who lives and who dies.
It's a sad situation. But again, guys, 2 things have not happened. 2 things have not happened. The first one, people have continued to act irresponsibly. And again, we go to the root of the matter. La raza have continued to act irresponsibly. Andaban las viejas fodongas en el Walmart, en el H-E-B, con 5 o 6 huercos without face coverings. The kids all over the place grabbing everything. And, you know, a lot of people were joking, Erasmo, ha. No, you know, I was trying to make a point, guys. I was trying to make a point. And you know that the point is valid. You know that the point is valid. I just have a different way of saying things. But you know it was happening. You saw it happening. People didn't take it serious. What happened at the island? Andaba la filota para ir a la isla, como idiotas. And yeah, we can blame the county judge for, not taking decisive action, in a proper way. But ultimately, it's the individual's fault. Individual's fault. The second mistake is that there were no MASH units established or created here in Brownsville. There were no MASH units. And what I mean by MASH units, I mean, goodness gracious, take a damn building and make it into a damn hospital. Immediately. We were screaming for it weeks ago, Joe. Weeks ago. And people were saying, Erasmo, what about Brownsville Hospital? What about this? And I'm going like, we're trying, guys. We're trying to convince leadership in the county, in the city, get us a damn MASH unit. Joe, we have a FEMA dome. a FEMA dome. It's for emergency situations, Joe. Well, guess what? The emergency situation was weeks ago. Nothing was done. Well, guess what, guys? This past week, the governor comes down and they say, well, let's convert McAllen Convention Center into a hospital. McAllen Convention Center, Joe. McAllen Convention Center into a hospital. And I'm going like, goodness gracious, we've been screaming for it for weeks. But not for McAllen, for Brownsville.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, Erasmo. Where has our city government been when all this, in the planning, and should have done that a long time ago? And that would have left us at least one hospital in Brownsville that was for our everyday regular use, so that people aren't turned away, with a condition that needs to be treated now. And you're right. And that's what I'm talking about, that our leadership has been absent. Our city and county leadership has been absent.
Absent. We needed a mass unit. Because you know what, Joe? They did it in Italy. They did it in Spain. Goodness gracious, they did it in New York. So why these individuals here didn't think that we're going to need it in Brownsville, Texas, really is beyond me. We needed it weeks ago. Weeks ago. We still don't have it. McAllen has one now, finally. Brownsville, I heard, Harlingen is going to get one, Harlingen is going to get one. Goodness gracious. We have twice as many, 3 times as many individuals here in Brownsville, and we get nothing. And you know how I always say McAllen gets everything and Brownsville gets nothing? We're stagnant. We get nothing. McAllen gets everything. Well, guess what? McAllen gets a hospital. McAllen gets buses of nurses before we do. We get nothing. So, guys, we need to demand that everyone out there do what is right in regards to coronavirus. Be responsible. Social distance. Wear face coverings. Have hand sanitizer readily accessible always, everywhere. And stay away from each other. And 2, demand that our leadership create a mass unit, a hospital out of the FEMA dome or out of the closed schools that we closed. Same thing. I haven't changed my stance. Do something, because our people are now dying either at the hospitals or at home because they have no insurance. They have no insurance. And the hospitals have no space. No space. Erasmo, what do you mean by contain? I'm not sure what the question, the complete question, Elizabeth. Sorry, I apologize. What's up, kitty cat? I like it when you call me kitty cat. Where's my signs? Come pick them up at the office or send me an inbox and I'll deliver them tomorrow. I'll be delivering signs, cookies. And I only have very few signs, guys. And I'm not going to make any more yard signs. I have big signs coming in on Monday. I have some 4x4s, but that's it. That's all I'm going to do. But please, come by and pick some up. Welcome home, Joe. Manuel Trevino. Amen, Joe. Praise God. We will continue to pray for your recovery, Mr. Valdez. Amen.
Thank you.
Personally, I believe BISD board is messed up as usual, but in a board meeting, he was venting that they are there essential. And if they can be there, the faculty staff can be there too. But they don't realize that they are their own office. Yes. Where they can be alone. Yes, Stephen. But yet again, do they want to throw 20 to 30 students with teachers? That is a big no. It is. You're right. But all they care about is the money. You're on point, bro. You're on point. If you boot him out, you have to buy out his contract. ¿De dónde? The taxpayers' money? No. You don't, Rebecca. See that? Let me tell you. Sorry, we're a little bit past the hour, but let me tell you real quick, Rebecca. The reason that these individuals, these past boards have had to buy out the contracts of their superintendents, the reason is because the superintendent always has some information on the board members. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason that previous boards have had to buy out the contract of the superintendent is because the superintendent has information, has dirt on the board members because it's been corrupt for years. That is why they opt to sign a non-disclosure agreement and give them a golden parachute. So they won't have to go to court and the superintendent dishes out all the information that they have on the board members. So no, not a damn dime. Take it to court. Let him fight it in court. Get rid of anyone that is not producing, anyone that has lost the confidence of the community. Get rid of them all. Don't buy them out their contract, ever. Got my Erasmo and Frankie yard signs, got my cookies ready to vote November. Get out there and vote, people, 800%. Guys, I'm going to go by the comments very quick. Praise the Lord. Joe, God is going to bless you. Just keep it loose. Amen, Linda. Thank you, Linda. Those are my cousins. Awesome. Hey, Joe, glad you're doing better. Prayers, bro. Juan Cineros. Glory to God. Joe Valdez, Rosie Gorena. Thank you, Rosie. Rebecca Reyes, glad you're doing better, Joe. And Joe can't read the comments. Lorenzo, that's the first thing they asked me when AMS picked me up. Do you have insurance? And again, someone proved me wrong. No hay futuro. Yes, hay futuro this November. How long until we have to get a triage committee like Hidalgo? Again, Christina, you're on point. We need to demand. They are pressuring families to give the hospitals the right to DNR. Again, you are right. People without insurance will go home. No insurance, no hospital. Yeah. Don't worry. Tengo para todos. And I'll send a message every week to Abbott. The old fart needs to go too. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Mr. Valdez, you need to be in CNN. Tell your story. You need to tell the nation how bad it is in our area. Thank you, Maria. I agree 100%. But something that's better than CNN is Erasmo's show. I will see them getting together parties with all their kids. It's crazy. I've been told that parents are coming positive and they are sending kids with the grandparents. Please, God. Yes, it's a mess. Yesterday, we went to pick up curbside HEB and families walking in and out. The worst part was that all the children had no masks. No hay futuro. It's crazy. Gabriela de la Cruz, yes, ignorance. They could have rented the old Kmart and event center or the emergency dome. 100% now that we have emergency dome. They should have used it. So Valdez, you look so much better than the last time we saw you. God bless you. Amen, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
400, now 600 positives, and we are still not at level 5 yet. What is going to take for level 5 city commission? Pero bien que cobran cheque. Cheque. Good parents will get it and die. Yes, unfortunately. Grandparents will. Yes, save the grandparents. Save everyone. Why doesn't Walmart and HEB put a sign saying no children allowed? They need to, 100%. We're almost done, guys. Harlingen is going to have a makeshift hospital. Yes, I just said that. You're exactly right, Gloria. Horrible. It is horrible. BISD is a threat for public health. It is. And a question, where did BISD get the money for all the Chromebooks? When I was in school, they kept on removing funds from the arts department. Not only, yes, the arts department, the bands, they stole the money for the bands. They stole the money from special education. They took their money. They took our special education kids' money. They took the band's money, and Sylvia, Minerva, Prissy, Drew, Little Annie, Laurita, they all helped Sylvia pocket the money. Pocket special ed and our bands, our fine arts money, 100%. Maybe Brownsville COVID patients will be transferred to Harlingen. Yeah, but oh goodness, why? Why can't we get good stuff in Brownsville? Why don't we care about our people? What do you think is self to work next Wednesday at Pace? No safety at all. What do you think it is itself to work? It isn't safe to go to work. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not next Wednesday. Bad boys for life, Joe. Luis Cisneros.
You know it.
Later, kitty cat. Stop screaming. I'll try. Abbott failed us by opening up too soon. Everyone in the elected office has failed us. What criteria are doctors using to determine who lives? Insurance. Continued prayers, Joe, from the Leals. Blessings. My husband and I sat down to seriously discuss my retiring now because waiting for BIZ to decide is causing high anxiety, but we can't afford to be without insurance. Just be patient, Maria Magdalena. All I need is till October, November. Please be patient, folks. Joe, last words.
I just want to thank everybody for your continued prayers. Keep them coming. We've got a long road of recovery still, so your prayers are welcome. Thank you for everything, Erasmo. Thank you for the invitation again. Anytime that you want to invite me, I love to talk.
Right, man. You can come on every single morning at 9 o'clock. I'm here every morning, 9 o'clock. Siempre estoy solito. So anytime you have a chance, you let me know, bro. This is your platform. This is my community's platform, guys. And again, the anxiety is horrible. It is horrible. People are self-centered and apathetic, can't blame anyone but ourselves, 100%. Guys, I will say that Dr. James is amazing. Dr. James will start his show starting this Monday. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. If I'm mistaken, someone please let me know. But Dr. James is going to be at 8 o'clock. I know that AOBE is starting their own show every Thursday at 7 o'clock. So, guys, we're trying to fill in prime time. You know, we're going to have 7 o'clock AOBE on Thursdays. Dr. James every day, starting this Monday at 8 o'clock. And then I'm sure he's going to end it at 9. And then you come over to our show at 9 o'clock. And, you know, again, anybody else out there wants to, do a show of some sorts in order to keep individuals informed. Dr. James is going to be giving counseling advice. That's what he does. AOBE will be giving it, updates in regards to the school. This is what we need to do at this time. So please let me know and, fill out the 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, the 7 o'clock. The 7 o'clock, except on Thursdays. Fill out those time slots and we'll promote your shows 100%. And, I appreciate them reaching out and letting us know that they were going to start these shows. It's, I said, more power to you. You have all my support. I will promote everything out there. Yeah, flood us with information. That's what we want to do. That's what we will continue to do. So anybody else that wants to do a 5 o'clock, a 6 o'clock, a 7 o'clock, except on Thursdays, let me know. And let's fill this up, guys. This is the new norm here. It is trend setting. And we do it because we care. And, Joe, I appreciate you coming on the times that you have. As the people care, they've learned a lot. They've learned a lot from you. They learned a lot from my doctors. They've learned a lot from the politicians that have actually come on here. And let's continue to invite individuals to come on here, guys, because an informed community will be a successful community. And we need to be successful in regards to fighting COVID-19, because where our leadership has failed us, we need to pick up the slack. We need to pick up the slack. And we will need you this coming November, because change starts with you. Because you can blame Abbott, you can blame the superintendent, but the only one that you can control, the only thing that you could change is you. You start doing things right. Start getting your family and friends ready, and let's vote them all out. Guys, please continue to help anyone out there that needs food, water, anything. If they are COVID-19, you know about it, your neighbors, your friends, help them out. Please, guys, please. No morning show tomorrow at 9, but we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. It will be Carlos Elizondo and myself. Guys, please be good to each other. And please, please